Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In Python, break and continue are control flow statements. They help to control the execution flow inside loops like for and while. Today let's talk about the difference between the break and continue statements. When the break statement is executed, Python interpreter immediately terminates the loop, and when the continue statement is executed, Python interpreter skips the rest of the code in the current iteration and goes straight to the next iteration of the loop. Break statement terminates the loop. Continue statement skips the rest of the code and goes to the next iteration. Let's take an example. Here this example for break. Here we'll use for loop first and range function to generate numbers from 1 to 9. And if I becomes equal to 5, when I is 5, we'll execute break statement. Otherwise, we'll print the number and next outside the loop, we'll print this message. Now, when I value becomes 5, this condition becomes true. Break statement is executed. So Python will stop the execution of the loop and executes the next statement after the loop, that is this. So it will print done. So now in the output, we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4 and done. Let's execute this. And here you can see the output. Because when I becomes equal to 5, break statement will execute. So Python will stop the execution of the loop and it will start execute the next statement after the loop. Next, let's take an example for continue. In this example also, we'll take the numbers from 1 to 9. And when I becomes equal to 5, we'll execute continue statement. And next we'll print the number and we'll print done. What this continue statement will do, it will stop the current iteration, will go back to the loop and it will start executing next iteration. So when I becomes 5, it will execute this continue statement. So it will skip this line. Control again will go here. I becomes 6, it will execute loop body. So in the output, we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 and done. So let's save this and execute this. And here you can see 5 is missing because when I equal to 5, it will execute continue statement. So it will stop the execution of that current iteration. It won't execute any statement after this continue. It will go to the beginning of the loop and it will start next iteration. This is the main difference between continue and break statement. Next, when the break statement is used, the loop is terminated immediately even if the termination condition is not met. In contrast, the continue statement skips the rest of the current iteration and moves to the next iteration of the loop, but the loop itself continues to run until the termination condition is met. That is, here termination condition is when I becomes 10, right? When I value becomes 10, it will stop the execution of this loop body. For the values for 1 to 9, Python will execute this loop body. But here when I becomes 5, here we can see the break statement. So what Python interpreter will do is, it will stop the execution of the loop. Even though termination condition is not met here, it will stop the loop. It will execute the next statements after the loop. And for continue, when I value is 5, continue statement is here. And when Python sees this continue statement, it will skip the statements in the loop body. It will go straight to the next iteration. And this loop will terminate when the termination condition is met. This is another difference. Next, when the break statement is executed, the loop is terminated immediately. The loop condition is not re-evaluated because the loop is already terminated. When the continue statement is executed, Python interpreter skips the rest of the current iteration and re-evaluates the loop condition to determine whether the next iteration should occur. In the break statement, after executing this break, Python interpreter immediately terminates this loop, right? It won't re-evaluate the condition. In the continue statement, it will re-evaluate the condition. Next, break statement is used when you want to immediately exit a loop regardless of whether the loop condition has been satisfied. When you have found what you are looking for, stop. That is break statement. And the continue statement is used when you want to skip specific iterations. Let's take another example. So here the first is example for break. Here we have a list called fruits. Apple, banana, cherry and grapes are the elements of this list. Next we'll use for loop for fruit in fruits. If fruit is banana, print banana found. Here we are searching for a fruit, that is banana. If banana is found, then print this message and execute this break. Here our aim is to find the given fruit, whether that is present in the list or not. So when I found that fruit, we'll print that message and we'll stop. So we'll use break statement like this. And here we have another example, that is for continue. Here we have numbers. It is a list and it contains odd numbers and even numbers. Now here we'll use for loop and we'll check whether number is even number or odd number. If this condition is satisfied, then that means that number is even number. So when even number, don't do anything, skip the next statements. And if it is odd number, then print that number. Then lastly, print done. What we are doing here, we want to print all the odd numbers in the given list. For that, we'll ignore all the even numbers. When we encounter a even number, we'll use continue statement. So it will skip the next statements. It will go to the next number, next iteration. Okay, let's save this and execute this. Okay, first example for break, banana found. So banana is present in the fruits list, then done message. Next example for continue. Here you can see 45, 5, 7, 3, 9, all odd numbers, then done. Okay, so this is how you can use break statement and continue statement in Python programming language. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will meet you in next class. Till then, take care.